now, and that's we're going to pivot between the first and the second half on the same composer. So I hadn't played with this group for a couple of years, so I really wanted to do kind of a sampler, a smorgasbord of all different styles of music. And so I thought I'd pull in Scott Joplin because I remember learning elite syncopations when I was a little kid. And I thought, hey, I wonder if this would work for this group, and it works really well. And so what we decided to do was kind of tie into the syncopations of that last one, and we're going to end this half with elite syncopations, and we're going to pick up the second half with the Scott Joplin Serenade. So a little bit about Scott Joplin. So he didn't live very long, and he had a brief but glorious time. So it was the Maple Leaf Rag that really brought him to fame. I think everyone knows him for The Entertainer, and then also if you saw the movie The Sting, his music played very prominently in that. And so that was actually where I learned about solace, which is in the second half. So that's how I came across his music. So what I'd love for you to listen for on this is that when I was doing some studying up on this, is that this is sort of the evolution of Sousa marches. So it's sort of bringing in the African American rhythms and into that, so that syncopation, but also that sort of jazzy feel. So this is sort of a precursor to jazz and swing. So that syncopation was called ragging. So you would rag a rhythm, and that would be like swing. So whenever I come across it, in like contemporary music, it's that you swing the beat. In Baroque music, they were doing the same thing. They call it inégal. So it's something that's been going on through the ages. But what's sort of interesting about this is that this is really at its heart a piano piece. So it actually feels a little bit like the Haydn, where you've got a clear kind of bass line happening with the left hand and a melody with the right hand. So that style of writing music really kind of never went away. That a nice clear melody and accompaniment seemed to be a winning combination. The other thing to listen for, you may be able to hear it, you may not. In that song, "My Heart Will Go On," have you heard of that from Titanic? There's that wonderful moment toward the end where it's just like all of a sudden everything just goes whoop, and she raises it up. I don't know if it's like, I refer to it as the supertonic, so it's like everything goes up a level. It's Mariah Carey songs do it all the time, Whitney Houston songs do it all the time, and it sort of adds that sense of urgency. What's interesting about this music is both of these pieces, the last two sections, they go sort of the other side of things. It's like, okay, now we got it, and then it goes to the flat side of things. And this is where it kind of finds its stride, and actually stride music is a whole genre in and of itself. And so hopefully, if you get it just right, you'll feel us kind of find that stride there toward at the end, where it's just like, it just kind of goes all the way, intermission. So this is elite syncopation.